be hearing from Linda Burnip, who is the co-founder of Disabled People Against Cuts. Linda, together with co-founder Debbie Jolly and other members of the DPAC research team, triggered the committee's special investigation of the UK under the optional protocol, and that took place in 2015 with the findings published in November 2016. Hi Linda, great to see you.
Hi, hello Martha.
So our first question for you tonight is, can you briefly explain what the special inquiry was and how you triggered it?
Okay, well, it was quite a long time ago, so the memory's a bit hazy, but basically when the UK signed up to the UN Convention, they also signed up to the optional protocols, which not every country does. I suspect that when they did sign up to it, they never expected that the first country to be investigated would be the UK. But at that time, Debbie and I used to spend a lot of time sort of looking at various ways we thought we could embarrass the government, bring the government to account, try and stop the attacks against disabled people. And we thought, as no one else had ever used the optional protocol 6, I think it is, we would try that. And so we got in touch with the UN. And I think it was October 2013, Debbie and I, together with a solicitor who we dragged along to sort of vouch for us and say that we were serious people and we should be listened to, met with the Secretary of the Disability Committee secretly in London. And then Debbie, myself and our research team, Bob and Annie, put together a report, and the first report we did actually had over 40 violations of disabled people's rights, which was the report we sent off to the UN. And then I think the government had 6 months, but it took them longer to respond to that. Obviously they wrote back and sort of said, oh, we were totally wrong. Then we got to write another report, and then that got ping-ponged back and forwards. And then eventually the committee decided they were going to come to the UK to carry out an investigation. And it was, I think, really powerful. They were here for 2 weeks. They spoke to lots and lots of people, not just disabled people, but politicians and barristers and lords, and, you know, a whole range of people who all were saying the same thing. And I think they had over 3,000 pages of evidence when they finished the inquiry. And obviously, as Tara said, they found that disabled people's rights were being gravely and systematically violated, and that our rights actually in the UK were regressing rather than progressing. And I think it's important to say that when a state party signs up to the UN Convention, what they are basically saying they will do is to make sure that disabled people's rights are progressively improved, and that things won't go backwards and that things won't get worse. And unfortunately, I really don't think that in the last 11 years that has happened in the UK. I think one of the, I mean, the only thing was it was a really difficult sort of couple of years, because I think the committee weren't quite sure how to deal with this optional protocol because it had never been used before, and everything had to be really secret, which I think for Debbie and I it was quite difficult because we actually wanted to tell people what we were doing, but we weren't able to. And yeah, I think that's all I've got to say, really.
That is fantastic. Thank you so much. I know I speak for many people when I say how important your work was. So thank you. Moving on to the second question now. What would you say is the relationship now between the inquiry that happened and the routine examination of the UK under the convention?
I think the inquiry sort of underpinned what the periodic review in 2017 looked at, and obviously there's that evidence that has gone into previous reports, and I think one of the things is that in lots of ways the inquiry hasn't actually ended, because the UK is, I think, the only country in the world, unless Hungary have to now do it as well, that has to make annual reports to the UN saying how far they've progressed with the recommendations that they've been given. And I think I did just have a look at the recommendations that were made from the inquiry and from the periodic review, because I couldn't think offhand what the government had put in place that was improving things. And I thought, well, there must be at least one thing that they've done that's improving things. But when I read through the reports, actually, no, I can't see anything that they've done that has improved things. And I think particularly with the pandemic, things have got a lot worse in a lot of areas, particularly in relation to independent living and right to life. So I think the main relationship is that, you know, the reports that already exist and which are built on and which the committee take into consideration when they're looking at what is happening in the UK now and in the future. And I think it's really interesting that Hungary have now used the optional protocol to complain about their government, and we were involved, and I believe it's on YouTube, in meeting with them and giving them advice on how to make that complaint. And I think that's all I've got to say, really.